There are so many diagnoses. It's a little bit overwhelming. Everyone's complex, everyone's different.
It's shocking. When I walked in, I felt shocked that there's this many.
I bet at least every person on earth has at least suffered with one at some point in life.
It's just like, wow.
What,
if anything,
does your diagnosis
mean
to you?
I just think these are all labels.
Yeah, but without them, you're not going to get the help you need.
It's how you view it.
why should you need a mental health label in order to get support? That's a bit sad, I think.
if you're saying that psychiatry has a tyranny over society, that's going to stop certain people from looking for support.
Are you satisfied with the diagnosis that you have? Where are you, Reza?
This way.
Right.
No. Ish. I basically think that labels are for things, not people.
And how do you feel about your diagnosis?
I think it's but the good thing is that it's enabled me to get some support that I wouldn't otherwise be able to get. I had to wait 3 years and it was hell waiting for it.
I've had anxiety for many years. Probably same with bulimia. I knew I had it. I just needed someone to say it to my face. It was just a relief to have a reason for it.
It was nice to realise that it wasn't just me being weird, being different, to know that there are groups and there are other people that do suffer with it, which really does make it easier to deal with.
A diagnosis it's completely up to you what you do with it. It's just a label.
It was a bit of a relief to get a diagnosis because it took over 10 years, actually 12 years to get the diagnosis.
How many diagnoses do you have now?
What if you don't know?
I hate my diagnosis. The main one that I have is borderline personality disorder, and I hate it with a passion. People start seeing you differently. Professionals, family, friends. Professionals see you as attention-seeking and manipulative, and they see it as not a genuine illness.
If I were to get rid of my diagnosis tomorrow, I wouldn't be happy about it, because when I was diagnosed with bipolar, it was like people suddenly realised that I wasn't just doing things for attention's sake, like self-harm or trying to take my own life. It was because I have a brain disorder.
When I was hearing voices basically, and they were going to give me a diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia, my mum, she came in and she said, do you think you could rethink that, because it could be potentially really stigmatising. And as a result of that, they changed it. It's much more about subjective views and opinions.
The diagnosis is just for the patient, surely. But it's also for the doctor to then send you to the right places.
They serve a purpose for professionals in particular, but people get misdiagnosed all the time. So it's very flawed, it's not objective, it's not very scientific, I don't think. But it does still have a purpose, like it helps people get the right treatment.
It's for the person that's suffering. You need some kind of support to help live with it and help manage it.
You're on the list and you need to be on the list to get help.
If you want to take away labels, then how are you going to ever decide what you are?
I mean, the labels are just changing every year. You know, I mean, I'm gay, so not so long ago, you know, homosexuality was seen as a mental illness.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's just
I think it's the result of a lot of studies. PTSD is understood both here in America, Dubai, whatever. It's a great way for us to gather information.
Do you take medication? Does medication help?
I think that we should be a lot less focused on diagnoses and just more focused on the symptoms that the person's presenting, like rather than putting labels onto people.
Have you ever challenged a diagnosis?
I don't necessarily agree with it because part of having borderline personality disorder is you really struggle to maintain relationships, and I've never really had a problem with that. They kind of dismissed what I was saying and just said, no, this is what you've got. Once you're given a label, it really does stick.
I'm sad I lost my parents. I can try to deny it and tell myself I feel fine. I've got new friends and family, etc. But I felt like that was just the child rebel in me.
You know yourself better than anybody else. Research it a little bit more or go and see a therapist and talk about it, talk about how you're feeling.
I feel what diagnosis is it's just a club of unfortunate events. So if we're both depressed, I'm like, oh, I'm part of the depression club. And it's not like a fun thing or a cool thing, it's just solidarity. It's us kind of saying, we're in this together, but we can smash this. And that's the whole thing we're trying to do really, isn't it? There we go.